Have you ever felt small, like a teacup in a world that feels like an entire ocean? Well, today, we are diving into a story that might just change how you see things. A tale brewed in that magical space right between sleep and wakefulness, all to uncover the secrets of our own inner strength.
And it all starts right here, with this one simple, whispered question. A young girl, just drifting off in the moonlight, asks this to the night sky, and without even knowing it, she basically cracks open a door to the whole universe.
All right, so let's meet our hero. She's a young girl who is about to go on this incredible journey, one that literally starts at the edge of her own dreams.
So this is Alexis Moss. But you know what? Everyone calls her Teacup. It's a nickname her dad gave her, and it just fits perfectly. Not just because she loves tiny, delicate things, but because it really captures who she is.
Teacup's world is, well, it's pretty incredible. She might be small on the outside, but inside, she's got this huge universe of thoughts and feelings. She hangs out in this magical fourth dimension. You know that fuzzy space between being awake and asleep? And right there with her, always, is your super perceptive dog Hope.
And that question she whispered into the night, it doesn't just fade away, nope. Turns out the universe was listening, and it sends a guide to lead her out of her familiar bedroom and into something truly extraordinary.
So this indigo light just sort of blooms in her room, swirling around like ink in water, until, bam, it takes the shape of a being named Nereida, the secret keeper of Neptune. And Nereida explains that Teacup's question, it wasn't just a thought, it was a key. It opened a doorway between worlds.
And this is the moment everything changes. Nereida reveals the real truth behind her nickname. She's not just small, she's a vessel, one that's capable of holding oceans of strength, entire storms of bravery, and these deep, deep reserves of kindness. She is, literally, a teacup that holds the sea.
So what does Teacup do? She accepts the call, of course. Nereida guides her through that fourth dimension, and they arrive on Neptune, this stunning, unbelievable world made of clouds and storms and secrets. And it's here that her real journey of self-discovery kicks off.
See, on Neptune, every single challenge is really a teacher in disguise. Those whispers in the wind, they teach her that patience is really about listening with your heart. The wild, raging storms, they show her that to find balance, you have to trust the journey, even when it gets rough. And that crazy maze of clouds, that's where she learns that sometimes your own gut feeling is the only map you'll ever need.
And the lessons, they just keep on coming. From the singing waves, she learns that the whole universe has this hidden rhythm. The floating islands teach her to notice the tiny details and how important they are. In the crystal reef, she sees how every single thing is connected to everything else. And a swirling silver whirlpool, that's where she discovers the awesome power of focus.
And all of these trials, all these lessons, they boil down to one profound realization. Courage isn't about not being afraid. It's about being absolutely terrified and choosing to take that next step anyway. It's about trusting yourself and the path forward.
Okay, so after facing all these external challenges on Neptune, Teacup is finally ready for the story's biggest revelation. And this lesson, it isn't about the world around her, it's about the one she carries inside.
And this, right here, is the climax of her journey, what we call the Teacup lesson. It's this powerful idea that her small, seemingly delicate nature doesn't limit her at all. In fact, it's what allows her to hold this immense, powerful ocean of strength and emotion and wisdom. It's all about reframing what you think is a limitation into your greatest strength.
And here it is, the core message of the entire story. Real power isn't about your size or what you look like on the outside. It's measured by the depth of what you carry inside, your courage, your kindness, your love. Because the universe, as Nereida says, notices what you hold within.
And it just takes this one, single, powerful idea to completely and forever change how Teacup sees herself, her nickname, and her place in the entire cosmos.
So now that she's learned this ultimate lesson, Teacup is ready to go home. But she's not returning as the same girl who just whispered a question into the darkness. Not even close.
Her very last lesson on Neptune is all about cosmic harmony, about understanding her place in the rhythm of everything.
With that new wisdom, she follows this starry path all the way back through the fourth dimension, and she wakes up, safe and sound, right back in her own bed.
But you might be thinking, was it all just a dream? Well, get this. She comes back with the silver orb. It's a real, physical memento from her adventure. And it just sits there on her nightstand, glowing softly, a solid reminder that her journey and the strength she found was very, very real.
When you really think about it, Teacup's journey is this beautiful illustration of a profound truth. Incredible strength, boundless courage, and the mightiest wisdom can live inside anyone. No matter how small they might seem on the outside, it's all just waiting to be discovered.
So, we'll leave you with this question to think about. What oceans of strength, of bravery, of kindness do you carry in your own teacup? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.